Alrighty, folks, looks like the ads are wrapped up, so we're gonna head straight into the game here. I don't know if we're gonna have any good luck tonight, but I guess we will find out. Hey, Star. How you doing, bud? How's it going? Oh, I've been thinking about that poot poot all day. Ever since you showed that to me. I keep having to go back to grading, and then I have to think about the fucking poot poot emote. Oh man, that's good shit. I love that. Thank you so much for making that. I can't wait to see that in emote form, perhaps one day. Aw, that's a whiff. Well, how you doing, Star? How's the day treated you? Other than, you know, giving you the opportunity to do something pootiful. Aw. Aw, Radagon, no. Radagon, no. Ooh. For my end, I am looking at almost being done all of my marking. Oh, you had a stream today, fuck, and I missed it. I'm sorry. I have been knee-deep in grading all day. It's a bit of a sprint at the close here. I gave a few too many extensions, and this meant that a lot of papers came in later than they were supposed to, and then they all sort of got to be handed back soon so people can take the feedback into consideration. So, lesson learned on that one. Because I grade my papers. Hey, welcome in, Pup Tetris. How's it going? How's it going? Oh. Oh, dear. No, honestly, the students did pretty well with their papers, I think. Had some very interesting readings crop up. One of my students did an anti-Zionist reading of Robin Hood, which I thought was very interesting. We won't, you know, for sake of their privacy, I won't give, you know, much by way of detail. Shit. But, yeah, lots of pretty good, insightful papers, I thought. What I was not thinking, or anticipating, though, is how many students would just, like, totally fucking blow the length limit out of the water. They didn't even ask me, I know. I stipulated a certain number of pages, and I got, well, probably about a third of the papers were just like, nah, we're gonna go minimum 50% over that. Which is fine. It's not too bad. Does increase the reading time some, but no, I thought it was a pretty good round all around. I will say one thing I didn't anticipate when I put this course together is how I would distribute the marking load for certain things. Because the way this course works is the students have to do a number of short, like, single-page papers throughout the term, and a presentation, and a midterm paper, and a final paper, which is a pretty standard amount of writing for a fourth-year class. I basically shortened the longer papers somewhat, and distributed that extra length across in the form of the short papers. So, what this means, because of the size of the class, is that every class gives me, you know, let's say an average of 4 up to 6 of those, oh my god, of those short papers that I have to grade and comment and return very quickly, or else it starts to get overwhelming. And if you should happen to have, like, a week where there's a bunch of presentations too, and if you should have a week where, on top of there being a bunch of presentations, you get a whole bunch of papers submitted because of extensions, oh boy, it gets a little hairy. But I got it under control. We're going to be good. I've got a tiny little bit of grading left to do after stream, but nothing too severe. I won't have to do any grading tomorrow before class, so I am, oh shit, consider myself good. How have you been, Pup? How are things over there? Are you, I assume since you have internet, you're not flooded out. Since, as I recall, where you are is getting some serious rain problem right now. The weather here has been, I mean, nothing compared to what's going on across, like, huge swaths of the US, but like yesterday was one of the most, no, not yesterday. Tuesday was one of the most bizarre weather days ever because it was incredibly hot. Like well, for me anyway, it was about 31, 32 Celsius. I don't know what that is offhand in Fahrenheit. It's gonna be like high 80s. But it was raining. Like, it was that hot and it was pouring rain for hours. So it was just the most, like, sweltering soup weather. But I will take it because I would much rather it be, damn it, much rather it would be raining here than dry, because we had an unseasonably warm, dry spring, which has meant that we, you know, we have basically, like, extreme forest fire risk. So the fact that we got a, you know, basically spring was kind of like summer. The fact that summer is currently kind of like spring is weird and crummy, but is also saving our asses from burning up. The well water tasted odd. Oh goodness. Just fighting insurance to fix my PC from shipping damage. They tried to give 10%. Oh, fuck, man. Oh, I can't imagine what a pain in the ass it is to try and get insurance to deal with PC stuff. I mean, insurance to deal with anything is annoying. You know, goodness knows they're, you know, not trying to replace it with a comparable unit, I'm sure, in terms of, like, power or capacity. Whoop. Let's see here. Doink. There we go. Oh. There. Trying to panic roll a little less on this guy. Oh, you're gonna do that, are you? Oh, fuck, I fucked that up. Alright. Star, what have you got on the, or do you have a drawing to-do list for the next couple of days, or? What's on that TDL, brother? In reading news, I did finish Frankenstein in Baghdad a little while ago. Finished it last week. I didn't get a lot of reading done, though, other than that, because I was mainly focused on grading, honestly. But I have moved on to Augustina Bazterrica's, I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, book, The Unworthy. She wrote a pretty good sort of quote-unquote literary horror novel a while ago called Tender as the Flesh. So I figured I would try her new book. I think it came out, I want to say, in March or April, so it's pretty recent. And I'm about a third of the way through, and I gotta say, I'm liking it. It is set in a sort of syncretic religious order in a world that has been devastated by climate change. Main character is it's like, how do I put it? A female aspirant to sainthood within this order. It is, of course, an all-women group. So there's some interesting things happening here. I don't want to get too into it because I am myself only a third of the way through. But I am liking what I am seeing so far. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh. See, you don't want to leave it right to the last minute with that one. Okay, I think we're gonna be good here. There we are. All right. Whoa. Heck yeah, on the reads. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I usually plan my book reads out a couple ahead of time, but I don't currently know what I'm going to read after I'm done the Basterica. So, we'll have to see. I know I said I wanted to read something fantasy, but I, in actuality, wanted to read something fairly short. So, I'm sure I will actually probably finish the Basterica, like, tomorrow. Because I will read it on my commute home from work. Oh my god, what's going on here? Aw, shit. I do have a TDL still. Animation is the big one. Need to get those ducks moving. Oh, is that the ducks on the string of light? Memoirs of Lady Trent. I don't know that one. Tell me more. Tell me more. If I like dragons. Okay, I'm gonna step away from the computer here for a sec. I have a fantasy book lined up. Sorry, just one sec. Alright, I'm back. Oh, did I forget to mute? Oh shit. Damn. Probably heard my my door opening and closing. The book that I have got set up to read next is Anne Bishop's Black Jewels trilogy. So the first book is Daughter of the Blood. The problem is that I have it in a single volume, like the whole trilogy in one book, which is a giant fucking brick of a book. And I tend to prefer... yeah, I'm looking for something that fits in my bag, and thus I can read it when I commute. You know, this, with the size that this book is, I would pretty much only be reading it at home, which is fine, but it, you know, it'll go a little slower if that's the case. Whoop. Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna let you kill me. Not with that, it'll take too long. Victorian period piece social justice femme scientist works against the systems to become a dragon naturalist. Hot damn. Okay. I will put that on the list somewhere. Okay, I'm just gonna let Radagon kill me here. Okay. The repo duck lights. Well, okay, so that's what tomorrow's stream is gonna be. Trying to think now if I have any books that are like real fucking dragon forward. I don't know, this is probably going to be a controversial statement as someone who kind of likes fantasy. Dragons don't do anything for me. In my 20 plus years as a Dungeons and Dragons DM, I have never like consciously made the decision to put a dragon in, because I just don't, I don't know, doesn't click with me in the way that they click with other people. It's sort of like how I was having this discussion with a friend of mine. I am infamously extremely bored by science fiction. But we were discussing this sort of, you know, our own weird genres that we just don't have the patience for. And it occurred to me that the thing that I object to in science fiction is having to care about space. The moment it asks me to give a shit about space or space travel or spaceships or how space works, I'm done. I'm checked out. I'm doing something else. But science fiction that doesn't make me care about space, I can kind of work with that. Like, The Thing is sort of science fiction, but Alien, that's science fiction in space, but you don't have to care about space all that much. I can do that. Event Horizon, one of my favorite movies, that's science fiction in space. You know, doesn't really matter that it's in space, though. It could be on land. Wouldn't be any different. Basically, if you could set a space movie underwater, I can tolerate it. But I will say, any science fiction anything for me is, you know, it's running the same race, but it's starting 50 feet back of the line. I don't have it in me. I don't get it. Fuck the stars. I care way more about bugs, I guess. The German philosopher Hegel had this great, I'm trying to remember where the fuck it was, but he had this great quote once where he was explaining that some of his critics accused him of not caring about astronomy all that much, and for being kind of bored by stars and things like that, and thus accused him in turn of caring more about the life of the most pathetic slime mold in favor of, you know, learning about the motions of the heavens. And in this letter he says, yeah, my critics have accused me of caring about base forms of life more than the heavens, and you know what? My critics are right. Fuck the stars. I love slime. I'm here for all of the weird, like, demented things of the earth, and not the stars. Yeah, that is kind of my attitude towards it. Towards sci-fi. The dragon thing I don't understand. Because I love me a good monster. I like dragons a lot more when dragons are monsters. When they're not monsters, I don't love dragons so much. Oh, I gotta find that letter. I mean, it's gonna be written in Hegelese, which is difficult, but oh man, I love that response. Oh, slime molds are the best. Just goop that thinks. Goop that thinks. And can solve a maze. That's what I want. If dragons were slime, I'd love them more. Uh-oh, I might have got a little too greedy here. Oh dear, oh dear. Aw, I didn't even try to dodge. Good God. Good fucking God. Yeah, I have quite a batch of horror movies to watch this week. I have picked up 2 Australian horror movies, both of which I've heard are very good, but I've never actually sat down and watched all the way through. One of them is Talk to Me, and then the same director recently released another one called Bring Her Back, both of which I would quite like to see, and neither of which made it to the theater near me, which is a real shame. Whoop. And then I have a little side project for myself, which is I want to catch up on the history of Soviet anime. I know that they put out quite a number of very bizarre and interesting things, and I need to acquaint myself with them. Whoop. I have only really watched one RL1 Soviet fantasy. It was a... I cannot remember what its Russian name is. It's like... It's the name of the hero who escapes me at the moment. Its Western name is The Sword and the Dragon, but I cannot more strongly advise against watching the dub. You really must watch the sub. What a weird movie. It is, I should say off the top. Ilya Muromets. That's what it is. Ilya Muromets. Heck, the stars. I love Thank you, Star. Yeah, okay, I'll feature that clip. That's good. Thank you for that. What was I saying? Yeah, so Ilya Muromets. It is one of the most beautifully shot fantasy movies I have ever seen. Like, this was a movie where they very clearly cared about making it look pretty and making it look otherworldly and fantastic. And they did it with, you know, by our standards, relatively basic kinds of special effects. But, you know, one of the ways they did it is with these incredibly beautiful shots. However, I'd be remiss if I did not say, oh man, that movie is extremely racist. So, be forewarned. This movie has some things to say about Asian people. Probably, I would guess, because one of the motivating factors of this movie is to address, at the time, the decay in Sino-Soviet relations. Excuse me, I could feel a burp coming on there. Because part of what is so weird about Ilya Muromets is that it's set in medieval Ukraine. And so you would think that this is I don't know, they're not trying to be very historically accurate, of course, but the church is almost completely absent from the movie, like to a distracting point, because it's not set in like a fantasy world that is very clearly like fantasy Ukraine. No, it's just set in like Ukraine. But there's no church, there's no Christianity really in it. But what the movie does make huge hay about is chivalry and like knightly codes and honor. And it marshals all of this discourse not into like, you know, typical knight shit, but into defending the motherland, Russia, or, you know, as it has it. So my guess is that, like, one of the things that is going on there is they're trying to, like, recuperate chivalry as a kind of, like, secular code of ethics to defend the homeland instead of, you know, do the other sort of chivalry things. And I can only imagine that this is, you know, this has something to do with the breakdown in Sino-Soviet relations through the 50s. But, at any rate, I don't know, we'll probably watch that movie in the Discord at some point. It is absolutely bizarre. It's totally wonderful. A treat to watch, but oh man, that movie is racist. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like, honestly, I hate to say it, the racism is kind of the point of that movie, because it is attempting to, you know, create a sort of pseudo-human threat from the East that could overwhelm Russia with their superior numbers if, you know, Russians don't take up the chivalrous cause of national self-defense. So, you know, affinity between communists and knights? More likely than you think. More likely than you think. But I know that is by no means the only Soviet fantasy movie. I would just like to see a bit more of the terrain on that one before I start getting a sense of what they were about. Boing. Okay. Am I gonna make it before he teleports? Yes. Ooh, I almost missed the dodge on that one. Boing. Whoop. Whoop. Oh, are you serious? Okay. Ooh. So yeah, lots of horror movies. I want to get a fantasy novel under my belt here. Haven't read a fantasy thing this year. And I don't know, should I should I dare to read something sci-fi? I don't know. I don't even know where I would start. I mean, arguably Brainworms by Alison Rumfitt was sci-fi. Arguably Absolution by Jeff Vandermeer was sci-fi, but they were both kind of... I don't think that is... okay, I could see it maybe for Absolution, but not for... Not for Brainworms. Oop. But I will say, Brainworms does now make for the second, like, novel I have read that this year that dealt with questions of transness and, like, bodily autonomy through the image of parasites, but in sort of wildly different approaches to the same subject matter, much as the two books share politics. I could think of sci-fi that isn't Boner riding space and starships. Well, actually, I think you and I watched a sci-fi movie that, I don't know, maybe broke all of my rules about sci-fi that I normally don't like. Oh, for fuck's sake, why is this the easiest goddamn attack killing me tonight? Oh, man. Anyone listening who hasn't watched Redline, the anime from, was it Madhouse or Mad Dog or something? Oh, man. Watch the shit out of that thing. Best thing to do before you watch Redline is pound a Four Loko and, I don't know, put on a baseball cap backwards before you watch that movie to really get into the mood. Put sunglasses on inside, take off your shirt, put on your socks, put the sandals on over the socks. Then you're ready to watch Redline. Go take a shower, half-dressed, after you pound the Four Loko. Then you're almost there. We gotta watch this again in a whole different way. I gotta prepare. Hey, whatever you gotta do to enjoy Redline. I mean, there's I'm sure quite a range of preparations one could make for that movie. Oh boy. I have to admit, I am filled with fear and anxiety about the A24 Elden Ring movie. I cannot allow myself to imagine that it will be good. In part because I think I am, like, seemingly the last living A24 hater. Doubter, I guess, is more like it. I haven't really loved their horror. So, we'll see. We'll see. Well, you know what? Don't really try to go around it that way. I guess it worked out okay. Oh, that's lucky, because I was almost out of stamina. Oh, hey, there we go. Yeah, Redline is a Jorts and Red Bull movie. You gotta get ready. Now, I should say, brackets, complimentary. Redline is a very good movie. I was not expecting it to be good. You know what I would say about Redline is it is kind of Lynchian to me in that the thing that it does is it takes like all of the fucking like all of the cliches that we know from like sci-fi anime and I'm sure from racing stories, and it just takes them incredibly seriously. Not sarcastically. Like it's I would say it is not a satire. It just takes those cliches and leans the fuck in. Oh, fuck. Getting distracted thinking about Redline. And poor Funky Boy. Oh, poor Funky Boy. Gone too soon. Gone too soon. I forgot to look up the English voice actors for that because I was definitely having whiplash recognizing a whole bunch of voices but not knowing where they're from. The only one I can think of is there's one character who I am pretty sure is voiced by the same guy who does the voice of Polnareff from JoJo. Um, and he does Polnareff's voice. Like it seems to be the same character. Which is wild because the two characters are not alike. So I'm getting kind of whiplash in that regard. Boy. I also haven't watched I haven't watched like a good detective movie in a little while. Like I watched a couple westerns earlier this year after Val Kilmer died. We watched Tombstone and then The Great Silence, which was so good. That was an incredible movie, and I could only find it in really shitty quality too. Um, yeah, like a good detective movie would be excellent, I think. A good little rounding off of the genres here. But yeah, if you have ideas on sci-fi that isn't boner riding space and starships, I am open to suggestions. I can't promise that it's gonna be up there, but I will take it seriously. Also, I know Joe Abercrombie has a new fantasy series out, which I should really look into, because I deeply, deeply, deeply enjoyed his First Law trilogy, which starts with The Blade itself, which is an extremely good fantasy novel. Highly recommend it. Dragon quotient, pretty low. I don't know offhand if the dragon quotient is 0. Don't quote me on that. I do not know. Can't remember. But I think there's like 9 books in that series. A set of 3 trilogies. Can't recall if there are dragons. So I'll just have to let you fucking puzzle that one out. But yeah, that's... What's the last... Oh, fuck. Last fantasy novel I read that had dragons in it that I liked. I mean, I guess I liked Game of Thrones, but the dragons are always kind of off to the side, which I guess is why I can tolerate them. If you put the dragons front and center, I'm gonna let him kill me. Probably just not gonna do it for me. I wonder why that is. You know, I've never really thought about it. What is it about? Why are dragons like spaceships for me? What is going on with that? Is it that they are, like, big and spectacular, and, like, the imagery itself is so powerful that it, that it, like, distracts me or something? I can't. I don't know. Man, that's... Okay. Now that question is gonna bother me. I don't even know how I would begin answering it. Fuck. Alright. Well, actually, you know what? You know what? I am the world's biggest fucking liar who ever lived. I know exactly the last fantasy thing I read or watched that had a dragon in it that I liked. And you know what? Oh, fuck. It's Ilya Muromets. The dragon in that one is so good. Just like 50s Soviet physical prop dragon. Oh, they did good. They did good with that. I'm not gonna say anything more about it, but oh, yeah, I gotta watch that movie again here soon. There is a Soviet movie called The Ice Queen or The Winter Queen or something, which is a fantasy animated movie. I guess it's not correct to call it anime. Based on Slavic folklore that I would like to watch at some point. I understand it was probably their biggest like film export in terms of animated movies, because it was played throughout Europe, so on like TV. It was apparently a classic movie to watch at Christmas in Europe, so that's fun. Also, apparently one of the biggest Soviet directing teams for animated movies was a pair of sisters. I'm curious to know more about their career. I don't remember what their names are, though, because I haven't done my research. And then let's see. There's also I can't remember the name of the movie, but there's a horror movie from the guy who did Barbarian coming out. Oh no, first week of August, I think, and I'm quite keen to see that. That would be good. That would be good to see. To be clear though, I did not like Barbarian. I didn't think it was a good movie. But I do want to see the next one, because I'm sure it will be interestingly weird and bad in the same way that Barbarian was interestingly weird and bad. Neat trick. You're gonna use the cloud to hide your stab, huh? Fucker. Aw. Now what? Oh, that attack. Okay. I guess I misinterpreted it. Oh well. Okay, now what are we getting? Oh! Damn, I dodged that wrongly and got very lucky. Oh, this again. Come on, stagger. Why don't you? Okay. Now what? Okay, we're getting pretty good patterns this time. Just have to not fuck up the timing. The more this thing spends farting around swinging the sword at me, the better. Because what I don't want is for this thing to spend a lot of time spamming beams of light at me. So, I don't really know if there's a good way to, like, massage the RNG to get certain attacks out of him. Or it, I suppose I should say. Like, that's bad. That's the worst one. See, now I've taken a hit. Star Miria redeemed Hydrate. Okay, I will. I'm probably gonna die because of the fucking star. Yeah, the star exploded. Alright, this is why I don't like stars, because this thing throws stars at me. I'm hydrating now. Thank you. Thank you. Gosh, yeah, what else? I got another... got a little editing gig I gotta get... No, not your fault. The stars that the fucking monster is spitting at me. I honestly don't... Like, I have tried to practice it. I cannot consistently get away from that attack without getting tagged at least once. So, I think probably the successful pull here is going to involve me getting lucky and him not using that attack. Because it doesn't seem like if I just fucking beeline to the other side of the arena, doesn't work. If I try to like dance around it and go in a really tight circle, doesn't work. If I try to, oh fucking hell, you know, be very clever about dodging, doesn't work. Exactly once I have managed to do it without getting hit, and I don't know, those odds are not encouraging odds overall, let's say. But just as with the last few times, the obstacle here really is just I gotta get phase 1 consistent. Like I'm dying to Radagon way more than I should be. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna have to like smarten up and start taking this fight seriously here. I might have to do some offline practice, because this fight is nowhere near as difficult as Millennia, so it should not be taking me this long. But I keep having these like long periods between like fights because of missed streams or just spending time on other stuff. So I am backsliding a lot more with this boss, and that's got to stop, because I need the consistency here. Oh, shit. Other than that, what else is on the reading? I've got a couple like pulpy horror novels from the 70s kicking around. Some creature feature horror novels, which I think are always interesting. I would like to crack one of those open here soon, too. God, so much to read. So many things I'm excited to read. And no time to do the reading. I guess I could do, like... well, I don't know. Some of the books... I think a lot of the books that I might read are not stream safe. Like, I don't think I could read any Nick Cutter books on stream. But I guess I could read books on stream. I just can't, like, keep VODs of them. Why have they cursed us like this? Oh, shit. Can't read all the books before we die. Yeah. I want to be a brain in a jar and get shoved in the Universal Library. You know, I'm sympathetic. I'm sympathetic. But, alas, you know, that's not the world we got. And just got to do the most with what we have at hand. Read what you can, make of it what you can. I don't know. That when I was a young man, that thought used to cause me a lot of despair. But now that I'm an old fart, you know, in my mid-30s, when life is nearly over, it doesn't worry me all that much anymore. I was a young warthog. I mean, I do kind of have the Timon look about me. You know, I've got that queso build going on. Whoop. Radagon. There we go. Okay. Actually, you know what? I cannot remember if Timon or Pumbaa is the warthog. Correct me if I just said I look like a... Oh... I look like the wrong animal. I don't think I've seen The Lion King since it was in theaters, so... You know what I have seen, though, is the incredibly difficult game that they put out. That would be another good game for me to play on stream, if ever I could get the hardware set up, which is not likely, ever. I mean, I know friend of the show, Penguin Home, has figured that shit out, but I don't even have the consoles, you know? I know I have a GameCube kicking around somewhere. I might even have a Wii floating around. But de nada when it comes to the hardware to get it streamed. Which I guess is just like a capture card, but I don't know, I don't wanna navigate that. Not now. I got too much shit to worry about. Oh fuck, come on. Speaking of stuff to worry about, I see a warning from Twitch that we have ads coming soon. Whoop! Why all of the lances, Radagon? Oh. Come on, man. Give me a little... Throw me a bone with these attack patterns here. So, probably got enough time for, like, 2 more polls, and then we'll have to go for ads. Oh, come on. Furtive, my liege. Where were you last mourned us? I am sorry, I was, scourged with a migraine. I would not have been in any good condition to stream on Monday. I have in the past, had a migraine in the afternoon and then taken my medicine and then tried to stream. And I have never released the VOD for that stream because I was incredibly, I don't know, like the medicine that I have for migraines stops the pain, but it doesn't do anything about the other symptoms of the migraine. So, oh fuck. Like, I don't know, Noir, do you get migraines at all? Like, are these an experience you know well? Not really. Okay. So, like, for me, with migraines, probably, like, 80% of the time, the pain isn't even bad enough for me to take the medication. You know, I usually only take the medicine when the pain reaches a certain threshold. The problem with migraines for me is all of the other shit, because, you know, it makes my vision blurry, it makes my thinking really slow and disordered. I have a hard time finding words when I try to talk, and I have a migraine going. It's just a really bad experience overall because of how it fucks with language processing, both like taking it in and trying to put it out. It's a bad time overall. The medicine is great because it gets the pain out of your system, but the medicine is inadequate because it doesn't deal with any of the other shit. So the reason I haven't released that VOD and won't is that, you know, I was kind of loopy on stream, and I don't want that out there. Is it similar to a concussion? That's a good question. I don't know, because I don't know what a concussion is like, as I have never, as far as I know, actually had one. But it could be. It could be. I mean, with the provision that, of course, people experience migraines very differently. You know, I consider myself lucky because my migraines aren't really that painful. You know, most of the time I don't even, you know, I just do over-the-counter stuff because the pain just isn't that bad. Or I don't even take any medicine if I don't have something to do. Oh, hey. Welcome in, Penguin. How you doing, man? How you doing? Whoop. Oops. Here we go. Okay, this will also, I think, be the last poll before we go for break here, folks. I haven't been able to look at the group chat in a little while, Penguin. Did our mutual friend make it to where she was going? I've been... not that I'm aware of, okay. I've been thinking about your desire. I can sneak. Time-wise, can I sneak one more poll in? No, I don't think I can. If it's a good poll, we'll have ads show up right at the end. Okay. I think we know the real reason you haven't released it yet is because you very vehemently supported Yogg-Sothoth for presidency and argued for his sacrifice the peasants policies. God, what did... that stream we played Lamentum, which was a game arguably not 100% off of the mark about the sacrificing the peasants bit. It was also the one and only time I've played Dead by Daylight on stream too. Not great. Anyway, we got ads. I want to get my spiel out before the ads start on their own. Whoops, that's the wrong screen. Good gravy. All right, folks, we got a 3-minute ad break coming up here, courtesy of John Twitch. 3 minutes, that's time enough to go grab yourself a snack, have a drink of water, take your medicine if you got medicine to take, or join me in getting up, walking around, and stretching. And if you do none of that, if you stick here and have a look at the ads, you know, let us know. What does John Twitch want you to buy? All right, folks, I will see you in 3 minutes. Have a good break. Alrighty folks, welcome back from break, my ingenious little iguanas. Hope you had a good time, hope you saw some exciting advertisements, or if you didn't see any exciting ones, I hope they weren't excruciating. Lucky hand over there, but also as you should in... Well, it's, show your unique patriotic feelings, an advert for fucking USA colored bunting? Oh, that's grim. That's grim. I am sorry to hear that. Oh, you like the BRB music, do you, Penguin? Yeah, it's from Haku Ataki. I don't know. I haven't seen him stream for a little while, but friend of mine does good work. Insult me, at least the boner pills are useful. Oh, man. I guess, you know, I guess that is true. The bunting is not as socially valuable as the knockoff boner pills. Oh. Although I feel like, you know, potentially quite a bit less likely to make someone sick, perhaps. I don't know. I have never really looked into the consequences of false boner pills. I imagine, you know, they can't give you false boners, so... Well, speaking of which, John Twitch gave you Cialis? Oh, man. Well, you know what? At least John Twitch has picked up that chat fucks. Or would like to be, I suppose. Jumping off the roof? Well, hey, as we know from the past, you've got a nice sort of fire escape to land on there. So you won't be falling far. You'll be fine, don't worry. It's just fucking fabric, and probably nasty fabric. I wonder where the bunting is made. Do you think it's made overseas and it's being marketed to people who would hate that? Like, what is the game here? Or is it American-made bunting? Dude, Cialis to me? Oh, you're holding us in suspense here. Fuck. Oh, man, I meant to go back and check my stack of books. So nothing is made in America anymore, and it was not proudly stamped as made in Americas. Noted. Okay, so it was made overseas. Well, such is patriotism. Dude, I'm 25. Does John Twitch I think I'm 50 and on a rebound from divorce? For your second divorce? You know, it's hard to say. I mean, I guess, you know, I would like to know how Twitch decides what ads get shown. I, all of a sudden, have started getting French language ads, but I don't know if Pup Tetris is still here. The guy we raided on Friday, Monair, I can't remember, Mar, if you were there for that, but everyone in his chat was getting French language ads because he had been raided recently by a very large French language streamer. So I guess it assumed, you know, if you have a certain number of people who speak that language in your chat, it assumes that your chat is French, maybe? I don't know. So it was like people who don't speak French getting French language advertisements. But I used to get maybe one French language ad every so often, but now I'm getting pretty much one of them every ad break. So it's... something is clearly confused here. Oh my god. Oh hey! Welcome in, Raiders from Shot Your Pants. Let me get you a shout out here. Once I finish getting absolutely fucking murdered by Radagon here, How are y'all doing, Raiders? How are things going? How is Stream Shot? Oh my god, Radagon, why? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Whoop. Oh, I like that colorful dancing monkey thing you got going on there, Shot. Oh, let me do a quick shout out here, because we got a cinematic break. Oh, nope, 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 nope. There we go. There we are. But yes, hello, hello, Raiders. Hey, Venom, fuck you, hello. How's it going? Are you playing, Vampire Survivors? That's the emote unlocked from the big channel points contribution. Oh, okay, okay. Very nice, very nice. Fuck you, hello too. Yes, indeed. Oh, no! You fucker. Sorry, I'm talking to the Beast of Stars here. Not you. You got my required single fuck. Now, all further fucks are directed towards the boss. You gonna follow that up? No? Okay. I don't know, Shot. You're kind of my good luck charm on this fight. I tend to do better when you're here. Okay, we got that early. Where are you go? Okay. Where is the boss? Oh, okay. Probably do okay here. Oh, no. No. Not what I wanted at all. At least the horse took the hit. Can't see shit. Well, at least I didn't get hit. See shit, get hit. I guess that's the rule here. Aw, darn it. Ran out of stamina. Couldn't roll. Oh. Yeah, what were you playing, Shot? What were we up? Was it a System Shock day? What? You know what I did on my 3-minute break, chat? I normally, of course, get up and walk around and stretch, as I say every time. I actually pulled out a paper and I did some grading on the break. That's how I spent my downtime. Uh-oh. System Shock Game Pig special earlier today. Then Vampire Survivors. I knew it, because Venom was there. Whoop. Did they change anything about the Game Pig stuff for the remake? Oh god. For the remaster? I'm sorry, I have not really been able to make daytime streams these last couple of weeks on account of my own day job stuff. Okay, you brought up gaming and grading, and I have a story. Okay, let us gather around, chat. Another tale from Noir Griffin's life is about to be shared with us. Let's listen. What? I mean, I've thought about doing, I don't know, like a grading stream, but I just don't think there's a way to do it that respects the privacy of the students, so I simply will not. Oh, what? I'm trying to read chat instead of playing the game. Fuck. Yes, hacking the Game Pig now unlocks all games, including some not in the original. Oh shit. What are the good showings from the new? That's a weird way to say that. Let me try that again. What are the best games that were not in the original that you can get now? What are we talking here? other news, what else is going on this week? I've applied to, teach again in the fall. Not as the professor, but as a TA. Sounds like that term they're having some difficulty getting TAs, so I may end up with a triple tutorial, which has not happened in a very long time. We'll see. It's nice to get those because the pay is a little bit better. It's a little more work, but the pay is better. Oh, that was lucky. Oh my god, the timing just got absolutely fucked. Fortunately, well, I mean, I don't know. What was I about to say? I just started talking, and I knew I was about to say something good. So I said fortunately, and then whatever I was going to say just completely went out my fucking brain. Tetris, the burger game from Atari, where you catch falling ingredients, and an Atari game called Vortex. Oh. Well, you know what? I don't have any Tetris games on Steam, so maybe I could buy System Shock 2 just to have access to Tetris through a hacked game pig. If I got a world record attempt on game pig Tetris, do you think, like, the Tetris high score people would accept that? I mean, I guess, the version of the original Donkey Kong that's in Donkey Kong 64 is actually different. So it's, I guess I don't know why I assumed that it's a one-to-one exact port of Tetris in the game pig. Oh, you fucker. Come on, come on. Uh-oh. Yep, I'm just gonna eat this. Without the preview? Oh, it doesn't give you the preview window. Damn, okay. Game Pig Tetris. Little trickier than your standard round. Okay. Trying to think. I don't... Admittedly, I have a bit of a gap in my gaming knowledge where I didn't really play like a lot of these older classic type games. The very first video games I can recall playing were like mixtures of like NES stuff, some Super Nintendo stuff, and some PC games. Like the first PC game I can remember playing was, I think I've mentioned it before, a game called Redneck Rampage. First NES game I can recall playing was definitely one of the Zelda games for it. Overworld Zero on Game Pig was based on Ultima Underworld 2 that was coming out at the time. It now has magic as well as the full dragon hunting questline. Damn. That's impressive work for these fucking, Game Pig minigames. Holy shit. Oh, we got a big message from Griffin here. Give me a take the cinematic opportunity here. So in college, my manufacturing technology professor was a gamer too, and we regularly talked about what we were playing. So one midterm I fucked up on a test, got 56%. After class, prof stops me and asks me about this new game called Overwatch. Oh dear, he's been playing. So naturally, we talk for like half an hour about it, and then he finally proposes, you help me rank up to platinum, and I bump your grade to 75% in a retest at your time? Oh my god. Took me 3 days to rank him up. He unfortunately passed away from COVID. Holy shit, man. Well, how did you do on the retest? I mean, I guess you must have done well enough to earn your 75%. Or did you just get the 75 for free? After the platinum rank up. Also, you know, I kind of want to say dudes rock, but you know, he's dead now, so I guess it doesn't matter, but oh man, that's I'm glad you had a good time. That is not a good story to me. That, well, you know, I guess as favors I have heard teachers extracting from students, I'm just going to let him kill me because I want to do this hitless. As favors I've heard of teachers extracting from students, that is pretty tame as they go. No, he passed away from COVID about a year after I graduated. Right. You got your 75%. Congratulations, man. Good work, you know, making something out of Overwatch early in its... Well, no, I guess it wouldn't have been early in its life if COVID was the next year, because Overwatch released in, what, 2016? God, that game is almost 10 years old. Fuck. That sucks. Damn. Oh, for pity's sake, Radagon. Oh man, sorry, I just had a little bit of a crisis thinking about how Overwatch is 10 years old. Fuck me dead. That hurts to hear. That hurts to hear. Yeah, so timeline, he started playing in 2018. It was new to him while I was on it since release, and this happened when I was in my second year of college. You graduated in 2021. Yeah, I figured this must have been like, I don't know, spring of 2019 or something, so that makes sense for, you know, dying of COVID. Bert, if I did that earlier today, but with Guild Wars, yeah. I mean, every time I think about how old World of Warcraft is, I also suffer internally a little bit. How is your game going, by the way, Noir? I know you were crowdsourcing 90s stuff in the Discord a little while ago. You've asked us about roguelikes and like skipping rooms, snakes and ladders style. How is that going? Oh, banger, mate? Okay. Can I ask for more details, or is this all on the down low type information, need to know only shit? Which, fair play to you if it is, that's fine. Oh no, this is not good. Don't fling fucking little spikes at me, you dickhead. Nope. Aw, the fucking delayed one that explodes gets me every time. Working on 2 games at once is not stressful at all. Oh, Christ. Oh, yeah, that's right. You do have 2 going. Okay. Which one are you sourcing info for the roguelike on? Is the 90s aesthetic game the roguelike? You died. Thanks, Star. Thank you for reminding me that I died. I'm so glad. I'm so glad someone is there to point out my inadequacies on stream. Oh, you included the loving cat face thing, too. Can't remember why I put that on there. I guess I wanted it to replace something else? I can't recall. Maybe I just never used up all of my free slots, or the follower slots. Strange. I'll have to think about that. But no, I won't. I don't have to think about that. That's silly. I can just keep doing my own thing here. Well. There we go. Okay. On Radagon, Radagon. Oh, oh, oh. My fuck up there. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I don't think I've ever seen him do that move before. He stomps and then immediately teleports. Fuck. No, no, we're still working on my roguelite Borderlands shooter 90s idea, but the roguelike Snakes and Ladders idea was so good and new, we decided to pivot for now to that, because it's easier to make, and let us get our bearings on our work chemistry. Okay, alright, alright. So you got one for the market and one for you. That seems like a good compromise to me. By the way, Star, don't worry, I'm not actually mad that you made fun of me when I died. Okay, so tell me about the Borderlands but 90s shooter. What's the idea here? Is this like Y2K was real type thing and it actually ended society? Oh, Star, he's lying. He's actually fuming right now. You know, the thing is if I were actually angry, I won't say you wouldn't know. It's just, I don't want to be actually angry on stream, so I would probably, like, make an excuse to just not stream anymore. And I would go be mad off stream. Because I quite deliberately don't want to be a rage boy. And also, my rule about anger is like, you know, it's a game. Why do I need to be mad? Okay. Shit. Shit. Ooh, oh, Noir, you've got to hydrate, man. You've been hit with a VIP punish. Courtesy of Star Muria. Bada boing. Bada boing. Okay. Oh, you're un-VIPing yourself, perhaps anticipating retribution, Star. Boing. There we go. Okay. And, you know, there's this idea, chat, that I've had kicking around in my head for a little while. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's read what Noir said first. Yes, Y2K was real, and secret bunker full of various AI cores got cut off from the world. Some years later, an electrical failure triggers the emergency backup, and the AIs wake up and try to break out of the bunker. Uh-oh, what have I done? I've pressed the button on the controller that brings up the pointless Xbox overlay thing. So, are you playing as one of the AIs, or are you playing as a human in this reality? Fuck. I was hoping I would just dodge such that I would not get caught, but get killed by the explosion, because I hate how long the explosion takes to kill me. Okay, so I've had this other idea brewing, chat, and I have been considering doing a book club / reading group for a very special book. It's a very challenging book. It's a book you've probably heard of. It's a book that many of us, you know, nominally deploy its ideas, but few of us have actually read in full, or even really in part. Many people say you don't need to read this book in order to, you know, understand the world, and other people would say, no, that's false. I'll tell you, it's non-fiction. I don't know if I would do this particular reading group with just just us. So I would probably talk to a couple of streamer communities I know that are, let's say, 1 to 2 orders of magnitude bigger than me, but not any bigger than that. No, not House of Leaves. Okay, so the book is Volume 1 of Capital by Karl Marx. I haven't really decided like what the plan would be for a Capital reading group stream. Like, there would have to be reading, but what would the remainder of the the stream actually look like in that case? Because I don't want to like be teaching Capital, but I know that there would also be a lot of people who are coming at it having never read it and who need a lot of help. So I can help them, but I don't want to, like, I want to be making sure that people have the resources to understand it on their own terms. And I don't know that I know fully how to do that, because it's not exactly like a classroom, a reading group for a book like that. Whoop. Shit. So back to who we play as. We actually play as a weapon robotic shell, controlled by one of the AIs. Okay. The shell is special because of its unique weapons config. 2 main weapons and 6 auxiliary weapons on its back that auto-fires. Okay. So you're solving the problem here where, you got your gun that's out, and then the 5 guns in your inventory do nothing. And here they work because all of the guns are out and doing something. Is that the idea? So there's like no guns that you hold on to as a stat stick, or guns that you hold on to just in case. If you have them, you're using them. Shit. Oh my. Oh my. I don't know if I thought I might beat this guy tonight, but clearly I haven't fought him in a week. It's gonna take some work. I think I got a little too lazy after defeating Millennia, and this has led to me not taking the fight seriously and not learning it as in-depth as I need to beat it. And this is resulting in me getting a lot of like really bad I'm not converting attempts into phase 2 nearly as much as I should. Like by this point, fully like every second pull should be getting into phase 2. I should not be up like under a quarter, which is where I am right now. Because the fucking beast is easier than Radagon. Like, it is within my grasp. I just need to practice the beast, and it'll be fine. But I can't practice the beast because I keep fucking up Radagon because I'm not trying like I actually should be. Okay, that was just straight up a mistake. But chat, okay. This is a serious question for those of you who are here. If there was like a once a month book club stream, or maybe once every 2 weeks, but more likely once a month, where we read through portions of Volume 1 of Capital, would you want to participate in that? And I will say, this would be demanding, because my expectation would be that you do at least some of the reading ahead of time, and there may be like a study guide or something posted as part of it. And it would also very extremely be on the weekend. Tentatively, my thinking is it would probably be like early Sunday afternoons. Shit. Because I just cannot guarantee other times. I've thought of the structure maybe being like it technically every other week, but in effect it's monthly, because like first Sunday I would just read the bits out, and then the Sunday after that is the like discussion meeting. Take a long time to get through Capital this way, though. Admittedly, it's a long fucking book, so. You would be down for that? Okay. I don't want to do this for like 5 people. So, oh yeah. I gotta check in with some people who have a bit bigger of a crowd, because I would also like to make sure that there are people other than me who know Capital, can talk about it. But also, you know, as everyone who has read Capital cover to cover knows, the first 3 chapters are the hardest, and if you can get through those, you're pretty much Gucci on the rest of Capital. But getting through the first 3 chapters is a real fucking doozy. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. Alright, Radagon. Alright, Radagon. So we got a yay from Noir Griffin. Okay. Noted. Noted. Oh, that was stupid. That was stupid. Oh my god. Can't believe I lived through that. Oh, really? Okay. I don't think I've ever seen it use the grab attack when I'm up close to it. I'm only familiar with this attack at medium range. So yeah, in terms of like breaking down the sections, I mean, chapter 1 is broken down into a bunch of sections, so you know, I have to. I've been tentatively sketching this out, and I'm envisioning an audience of people who have no university education. So my thought here is like basically, how would you teach Capital? Like how would you help high school students read Capital Volume 1? Because that is kind of what I'm going for here. Whoop. All I ask is that my conspiracy theory of Karl Marx is my unwoke dad accidentally advocating communism during Brexit, who got sent back in time and wanted to start the idea of Brexit much earlier, but accidentally started communism be taken very seriously and given serious academic thought. Well, I mean, let me put it this way. The thing is that here is my here is my dark woke opinion. The EU is not actually good from a socialist standpoint. However, the UK leaving the EU is a victory for reaction in the UK. And because of that, unfortunately, I think the correct standpoint in 2016, socialistly, okay, this is me with my big Karl Marx beard, is critical support for the EU. But now that we're out of it, I say we, now that you're out of it, you know, let's do nationalization. Let's be proper fucking Brexit communists about it. Star says, I am mostly AFK, but listening. I'm always down for a read and not my first time. Okay, so we got another person who's not first time through Capital. This is good news. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. And there, if that goes well, you know, there's definitely other books I think we could read that I think would be important and interesting. Unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of, I think, you know, adequate leftist content on Twitch, but a lot of it is also, and I say this with the greatest of love to, you know, my comrades out here on Purple YouTube, that I just don't know that we need, like, a whole bunch more people whose thing is, like, rewatching Hassan streams and commenting on them. You know, I feel like that market is saturated now, and thus I don't really want to be, like, you know, red painting gives opinion on news communistly. So when I look around at the landscape out here, it occurs to me that there's not really anyone doing, like, actual socialist education. And unfortunately, I am a communist boomer in that I think if you want to call yourself a socialist or a communist or any variety of leftist, you need to have read Capital. Fuck. I get where you're coming from, but counterpoint, the Tories fucking lied about the NHS being drained and duped the common man into thinking it was good for them. Oh yeah, this is what I mean, in that the EU is not good, but in every way the victory of the Brexit referendum was a political triumph for the right, because it signaled a huge shift in the transformation of political leadership in the UK, because the moderating influence was completely defeated. Oh yeah, like let me put it this way: if there was, like, Brexit bracket leftist, that would be the best option. But unfortunately, the options we had were EU and Brexit brackets fascist. So, yeah, I think it would have been way better to stay in the EU, and it would have, you know, politically for the UK, probably been a moderating force in their politics, which has swung pretty sharply to the right in the years since. But yeah, unfortunately, you know, not the world we got. Okay, I'm gonna call bullpucky on that one. That's some silly shit right there. But you know, another thing I have been thinking about in terms of doing this is that man, that's gonna invite so much bad faith drive-by chatting, like, Could you imagine if, like, any of the legion of Chud streamers just so happened to see that someone is streaming a capital reading group? We're gonna have to deal with so much shit, to the point that I considered trying to figure out a way to, like, I don't, like, how do you, like, like, is there a way to have an approved list of commentators? Like, you can do it if everyone's VIP, but you can't, you're very limited on how many VIPs that you can have. Also, not forgetting the big fucking North Ireland elephant in the room. The closed borders shit was bordering on, oh yeah, don't get me wrong, Brexit is bad. Brexit sucks. It's going to push every element of politics in the UK to the right, and it was a massive victory for the forces of reaction. But I would have to imagine that my hypothetical, Brexit brackets communist would involve finally resolving the Ireland border issue by, decolonizing Ireland, finally. Now, not knowing Irish politics all that well, I can't, say that I know what that could possibly look like, but, yeah, no, obviously the current solution is bad and sucks ass. Aw, fucking Radagon, god, shit in my face. Fucking red-headed jackass. Okay. Just... fuck it. I'm gonna heal and just keep going. You serious? Are you... okay. Okay, I'm not gonna get mad. So, like, there's a hypothetical here where we could, like, cap it, where we could have a maximum number of people who are just allowed to talk, and then the chat would be in emote only or something, and only VIPs would be able to send messages. I mean, the other alternative somehow is getting it into, like, subscriber-only mode, but that feels very shitty. It feels very shitty. So I just don't know how. The only other option I could think of is just to, like, disallow chatters who haven't followed for less than a certain amount of time. And then if, people are brand new, that sucks, but we'll, hopefully have it organized far enough ahead of time that people would be able to follow. Come on, you fucker. Let them come, I say, let them argue in bad faith, because even if a single idea makes them rethink a single thought they ingrained in themselves... whoop! Sorry, I'm gonna dodge this attack and then go back to chat. Fuck! I didn't dodge the attack. What is wrong with me? Ingrained in themselves, it worked. Maybe we won't see the results now, but someday it might change the scales in their mind. I'm also available for modding help. Well, thank you, Star. That is very good to know. I will keep that in mind. I guess, yeah, I do like the thought more. I guess my thought on this is that I don't actually, I'm not envisioning this as like a outreach or de-radicalization thing. This is like, for me, this is for socialists, communists, fellow travelers, anarchists, whoever, who just feel like their political education is missing the biggest puzzle piece of all. And so the other option, of course, is we could just not do it on stream. We could do it in a Discord. And that, depending on how things go, maybe that's the option, where I'd, like, do the readings on Twitch, but then the discussions happen in a Discord somewhere. I don't know. We'll I gotta... There's a couple of people who I want to approach about this who I think will be open to it, but I don't want to approach them until I have my end of things in order, which involves, like, a plan for the reading schedule, a plan for the study guide, a plan for how we'll handle the discussions. I would also, you know, like for it to not... Again, I don't want this to be a classroom, so I kind of want to, like, you know, maybe have it set up where the discussion part of it has always 2 or 3 people, so it's not just always me. So I got some planning to do. I recently picked up all of the books that everyone recommends as, like, being good self-study guides for Capital. I gotta read through those and see what the advice is and what they're doing. Because there's also no need to... Oh no. Reinvent the wheel here. Make me mod. I can be very trusted with... I can't see what the fuck the boss is doing. Fuck. I can be very trusted with power, and I will not coup the stream at all. Please give me emergency powers, pretty please. Well, I mean, I will definitely need to be able to nominate at least a couple of people from my stream to serve as mods. So I'm... Are you formally volunteering for that job, Griffin? And, you know, if this goes well, oh boy, I can think of all sorts of books I would love to have for Communist Book Club. Honestly, if the Capital Club goes well, I would have a Lukash Club next. Oh. Actually, you know what? That's a total lie. You know what I would do if Capital Club goes well? William Morris Club. That would be next. That would be my genesis of my... Oh my god. Kind of, but I won't sign a waiver that I won't do a coup at all. I can't guarantee that 100%. Alright, well... Look, I don't know how much damage a mod can do. Like, I guess you could refund all of the worst fucking redeems in the world. I don't have a TTS, so I guess there's limited, like, distraction. But I guess a mod can't change the stream title or stop the stream, so... I think we'll probably be okay, Noir. I think we'll probably be okay. But don't expect any news on this for a while. I have sort of envisioned I would try and get my end of things taken care of by the end of the summer, and then approach people starting in the fall for a good old, you know, Red October type situation. Oh, what do we got here? Okay, that's fine. Seems weird, but I want to do a dictatorship RP so bad. Like Doctor Doom? Oh my god. Okay, what would your dictator name be? Would you just be Doctor Doom? Would you be like... Lord Noir or something? What's the idea here? The Griffin? What? Okay. I haven't thought that far ahead, huh? Alright, Star, you become an evil dictator. What's your dictator nickname? Oh. Exactly like in real life, I didn't think that far ahead. Oh, okay, Herb Daddy. Alright. I don't know how many evil dictators will have Herb in their name, but I wonder, you know, father. There's probably space for a dictator to claim that title. That's good and good and Freudian, I think. That would make for an interesting, you know, psychosexual politic, I think. I have the hiccups again, so I'm going to mute for a moment while I hold my breath. Lord Herb is pretty dapper. It is, but it's not a dictator name though, is the problem. Lord Herb, the peasants who grow rosemary have gone on strike. Whatever will we do? Oh no. The peasants on strike. This is a dramatic and worrying confusion of different modes of production. What's going on here? Okay, probably last pull if it's good. If it's a shit pull, maybe we'll get another. Because we got ads coming up soon enough. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Dodge, dodge, dodge. Oh. There we go. Good. Landed in front of him this time. Can't complain. Man, you talking about the Borderlands thing, Noir, has made me honestly kind of sad, because I would love so badly for any Borderlands game to be good. But man, there's always something real fucking wrong with them. Shit. I mean, I will say Borderlands 2 had probably the best trailer for any game ever. The Doomsday trailer. Oh, that shit fucks. But, oh yeah, it's expensive. Also, my current computer I don't think will be able to slug through it, since, like, even my current computer was pretty top of the line in 2021, and it still struggles a bit with Borderlands 3 in some areas. But fortunately, I think I might be getting myself a bit of an upgrade here this year. So, paying 2K a fucking dime, I'm straight up sailing for it. Yeah, fair enough. I can't officially endorse this, but you know what? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I will withhold judgment until I see what the Vault Hunter's abilities do. This was my big gripe with the pre-sequel, is that the abilities just weren't all that interesting to me. So I didn't particularly feel like playing any of the characters other than, like, Athena, and certainly fucking not Claptrap. God, fuck me. That sucked. Why did they think that was a good idea? Oh, okay, well, on that note, I think it's time for a break. So, as is tradition, folks, we have a... Oh, I just reordered my scenes for some reason. What the fuck? Alright, there we go. Okay, folks, we got 3 minutes. Time enough to go grab something to eat, something to drink, take your medicine if you got medicine to take, or you can do what I'm going to do. Get up, walk around, and stretch. Alright, folks, I will see you in 3 minutes. Enjoy your break, and if you stick around, let us know what John Twitch wants you to buy. Bye-bye, folks. All right, folks, we are back from break. Let me just quickly double check something here. Okay. Now let's return to the game. Okay. I don't think I'm going to go right to my standard 3 hours here. I think we'll probably call it in 20 to 30 minutes, because I do unfortunately have a bunch of stuff I have to take care of tonight, and I want to give myself a little bit more breathing room to get that done before midnight. Otherwise, yeah, we'll see how the study guide for the Capital Group goes, because the thing is, everyone in the world says Capital is impossible to read. It's so difficult. It's, you know, your average person can't understand it. And I'm like, no, man. No, man. They fucking taught Capital to elementary school students, you know, kids who, you know, in like 7th grade in Eastern Bloc countries. They, you know, people with no education who have had no formal training beyond basic literacy have read and understood Capital. So the question is, you know, how do we make this work for the modern audience with all of the attendant attention span problems and also, you know, the intractable problem of left-wing anti-intellectualism. Because there's going to be people who just don't think it's worthwhile. And I guess those people won't show up, but we're going to have to overcome... There's going to be people who show up with some sense of the value of it, but who don't... You know, when they experience too much adversity from the text, might make recourse to narratives that allow them to excuse that. I don't really know how to handle that, because of course this is a consensual classroom. Like, there's no one's making anyone be there. You don't get any credit for doing Capital Club with Furtive. Much as I would love for that. Just not gonna happen. The credit, anyway. You'll bake cookies. Aw. Whoop. That's kind of you, Star. Whoop. Are they gonna be Dad's herb cookies for Capital Club? Oop. Here we go. I mean, there's... Oh. Because, you know, that'd be a good time for, like, an in-person Capital reading group, which is always nice. You know, I never did that, because my Capital... I did Capital on my own. So I don't really have the experience of the group work component of it. That's an unknown to me, an uncertainty. So this will be a learning experience for me as much as anyone else. But one thing I'm going to insist on is that we read the whole thing. We are not going to do excerpts. We are not going to do, you know, Chapter 1 and call it a day. We're not going to skip Chapter 1 and start with Chapter 4 like some people say. It's going to be a cover-to-cover reading group, and we're going to have to deal with the problems of that. Because unfortunately, I think one of the reasons that, you know, broadly speaking, we'll find books like this difficult is that we've come to rely too much on the secondary literature to clarify it, and that makes people less able to come to their own understanding of what the text is doing or how to just work with it. Oh, you tricky fucker. That was a proper juke. Radagon. Oh, damn. Well, also, you know, maybe I'm being too ambitious here. Maybe, like, I don't know, 5 people would show up, and then it'll just be hanging out reading Capital. Star Mom had me read it. Damn. College reading of it was awful because there was just too much PBR and patchouli and migraines every time. Oh, wow. Hey, you know what? Invite Star Mom to the reading group. Damn, I love that. Your mom made you read Capital because college was too fucking hippie about it. That's incredible. I love that. I love that. That is maybe my favorite story you have now told me about Star Mom. Doesn't want you learning Capital from all these fucking hippies. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. I'm gonna be thinking about that for days now. Firstly, you gotta be the first person I've ever heard whose parents, a parent forced them to read Capital. I hear about the contrary way more often, and because it was too much fun going on. Incredible. I love it. I love every part of that. That's one for the record books there, Star. Oh, shit. Well, I mean, I wanted to read it. She taught me right. I was reading... Oh, yeah, she had me reading Che Guevara as well. Sick. Sick. Yeah, I want to focus on getting the first step done here, which is Capital. And then my mind, when I think about this, and I'm a little tired and I don't have it in me to work on the study guide, I have been thinking about what might come next. And, oh man, I mean, like, obviously Volume 2 is, like, the obvious successor. But if this works, like, if people care about it, oh boy, you could... So many great things to read and reference after this, you know? Book senses are tingling. I mean, I'm sure the anarchists would want us to read, like, The Conquest of Bread. And, you know, oh, fair play to them. Have to throw them a bone, too. Might I also add, you know, I do not know how to do professional grade audiobook reading. But it occurs to me that every audio recording I have ever heard of Capital has sucked ass. You know, and so much of the... excuse me. So much of the vast library of leftist literature has never made it to audiobook format. You know, I don't have a professional setup here. I can't really make it work that well. But there's just so much that needs to be put into other book formats, you know? But of course, this does bring up the somewhat intractable problem of how does an audiobook handle footnotes? And I've never really... Like, my instinct is that the best way would be to have a different narrator narrate the footnotes and just insert them at appropriate times. So that there's always a clear difference between main body and footnote. On Radagon, there we go. Yes, but then you would need two people, right? Every audiobook would be a two-narrator project. And it seems like it's already plenty fucking difficult to get one person on it. Alright, let's get going here. Okay. Really? Oh, come on. Okay, okay. Man, what I wouldn't give for, like, a mod that just puts a consumable in my inventory that, when I activate it, causes me to no longer take or deal damage, but just then kills me 5 minutes later. Just time to practice. Time to practice. Fucking hell. Anyway, we'll probably go another 10, 15 minutes, and then I think I gotta wrap it up, because I still have a couple things I really gotta get done tonight before tomorrow. And then things will be a little more calm in my neck of the woods. Until, of course, the end of the month, when I'll have a whole bunch of editing work that I have to deal with, and also getting this fucking capital reading group thing organized. Or at least, like, materials prepared for it. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Then there's the matter of the edition to use. Like, I'll probably just use the Penguin one, because that's the one that's probably easiest for people to get a hold of. Also, it's the one I have. So, you know. But what I would really like to track down and just spend some time thinking about is, like, records of, like, how did they teach capital in North Vietnam? Because they were teaching capital to elementary school kids then, right? How has this book been taught? Because you know, as ever, there's fundamentals. You know, at the end of the day, if you're doing a cover-to-cover reading group, you just start off slow, you go bit by bit, you gotta guide people through handling texts which use complex grammar and vocabulary that's unfamiliar. You know, you walk people through the process of active reading, of taking notes, of using notes to help them understand things. And, you know, at some point it just becomes you know, the repetition of the exercise becomes the lesson. Because I'm not, like, I wouldn't want to frame this as, like, producing a new reading of Capital, just, like, helping people read this thing that everyone, question mark, assumes is a central text of our politics. Oh, fuck. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Che, could we read, dare I ask, could we read Lenin on stream? Could we read State and Revolution? Could we read Kwame Nkrumah? CLR James? Could we read... James L. Boggs? Actually, you know what? I think people would fucking love the Boggs. For sure. Oh, fuck. Of any of the... you know, classic American writers, I think Boggs would probably go over really, really well. I've got my own, you know, personal interests here, which would be, you know, let's read fucking Rhea Dunayevskaya. Let's read Lukács, you know. But well, I guess I shouldn't get ahead of myself here. We got step 1 to deal with first. Also, we're probably going to have a stream on Saturday, and the Saturday stream is going to be Atto Full Boyfriend. We're going to go back, we're going to kiss some birds, we're going to smooch our feathered friends, I want to seduce a bird. I failed last time. I gotta recoup my honor here. Show that I can romance a bird. Gotta make it happen. We gotta make it happen, folks. Oh dear. Okay, there we are. Oh no! Fuck. Yeah, and I think probably the route we will take is going to be the sporty bird. We'll start with that one, because that will give me ample opportunity to make my excellent, excellent, excellent bird sound. So I think that's how we'll handle that. And then after that, I don't know. There's the boring aristocrat guy, there's the boring aristocrat guy's brother, who's a little more exciting. There's our best friend, and then, as chat has told me, the doctor is also a romance candidate. But I don't, I have no idea how that's going to work. I've also considered doing a quick little speed playthrough, just trying the ghost bird run again, but not rejecting him at the very last possible minute, because I wanted to play our one intelligence bird. Oh, why? Oh, no. Welcome in, Penguin. How are you doing, man? Penguin, if I held a reading group for Karl Marx's Capital Volume 1, would you want to attend that? Whoop. Thank you for clipping that. I appreciate it, man. There we go. How's your morning, evening, afternoon? I don't know what time it is for you right now. How is your time zone, Penguin? What is a reading group? We get together in a group and read, and then talk about the thing we read. Struggling with work today? Oh shit, well I remember hearing you say recently you've got a whole bunch of, what, like, conference papers you gotta write? Your boss wants you to go present your research somewhere? Fuck. I died. Is that what's got you down there, brother? Yeah, I have a couple of presentations to do, got one done. But now... But nah, next project. I feel like it's a little light on. I don't quite follow your meaning. A little light on? I mean, like, struggling to get inspiration, like you need your light bulb moment? Or you're just keeping the lights on, like you want to go to bed? Oh, I see. It's a little light one. Gotcha. I see what you mean. Oh, like it's just not all that challenging or sophisticated? I mean, I hear you on that. You know, I guess at some level it can, you know, if the analysis is rudimentary now, it could at least be the foothold for a more complex analysis later, perhaps. We're way out of my depth here, so I don't know what to tell you, but I am sorry it's not giving you the reward it normally does. Well, it started complex, but it's been whittled down to something basic. whittled down via executive command or whittled down because of practical considerations? Like, data's not there. What is our constraint here? A bit of both? Okay. Q Radagon. I'll write it up tomorrow. The other authors can discuss the rest. Alright, alright. Are you just doing the analysis section then? There we go. Very nice. See, every now and then I have one of these great Radagon pulls where everything goes well. If only I could have those every time. I basically do the analysis and write the entire paper. Oh, well, what the fuck are the other people getting authorship credit on then for? There we are. You almost got me with the teleport, you sneaky son of a gun. Okay, immediately whiffed. What a great sign. Oh no, that's the worst thing you could have done. Fuck. Fuck. But I'm a geneticist, so when it comes to the disease part... Okay, I see. I rely on other professionals, clinicians, doctors, etc. to steer the direction a bit. They are largely useless. Oh. You're carrying the weight of authorship on your shoulders. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I think this is going to be the last pull before I call it a night, because I want to head off early, because I not only have a bit of marking to do, I have an errand I have to do tonight. Because I forgot to do it, and it didn't occur to me until halfway through stream tonight that I have to do this thing. So, that's my life. That's why I'm going to stop streaming in about 5 minutes. We know a lot of big names which can help with the paper. I don't know many big names really myself. Oh shit. I have a fun story about a big name. There's a guy I know someone who once hosted the philosopher Agamben at a conference and had prepared this sort of very luxurious itinerary to have him visit and present at this conference, and picked him up from the airport and proposed different venues for breakfast and whatnot, and sort of outlined the kind of things you can get at different places that they had chosen. And he said, no, let's just go to, and he mentioned a restaurant that's like a chain restaurant near the airport, because he wanted nothing more in the world than muffins after being in the air for, I think, 14 hours. That's my one big name story. I also have a third-hand story about the same guy, which is a much, much, much more disparaging story, so I'm not going to share that publicly, but, this is the kind of guy that generates stories, I suppose. But yeah, I don't, unfortunately, I don't have the skinny on the big names. Also, there's not really big names in my field anymore because my field is dying. But, at any rate, we'll talk about that some other day. In fact, my field is so dying that there's a whole book that has been put out about how to navigate the situation that many scholars are running into, where they are the only person at their university that studies the medieval period. It's now a serious problem that many people in this field experience quite severe professional isolation. And has been now for almost 10 years. That should tell you something about how bad things are here. Like, could you imagine if botanists had to like write a book for other botanists about how to deal with the fact that you're the only person around who studies plants? Because basically you have no one else who you can really talk to about your research. You have no collaboration opportunities at your institution. There's no one who can cover for you if you are ill or if you're on sabbatical. Right. This is a very, very, very bad sign. But you know, so it goes. Whoopsie. Boink. There we are. Oh. Aw, shit. Alright. Well, on that note, I think it's about time to call it here, so let me check on a couple of things. Okay. Let's see who we can go say hi to on the way out. Someone who's got sort of around our numbers here, I think would be best tonight, since we're a pretty tight crowd. Oh my god, Twitch, why do you autoplay a stream when I open up the thing? Thanks for the stream, Furtive. Sorry, I was lurking for most. Oh, hey, don't worry about it, man. I know you got work to do, and your shit is 100 times more important than any of the crap I ramble about. So never feel bad about about lurking, man. Let's see who can we go say hi to? Who do I know who's on? Thank you for the stream. Oh, you're welcome, Star. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming by and listening to me sort of vaguely ramble about potentially wanting to do a capital reading group. Let's see. Oh, Pyro is on. Yeah, let's go raid Pyro. This Pyro's a friend of Shot, who raided us earlier, so we can go raid Pyro. I don't know if I've ever raided Pyro before, because he's usually, I think, in bed by the time I am wrapping up streams here. Alright, folks, as ever, thank you for spending a chunkier evening with me tonight. Much appreciated. And I will be back on Friday for not this. I don't know what I'll play on Friday. And then I'll be back on Saturday, I think, for Hatoful Boyfriend. So come by if you want to watch me fail to persuade a bird to love me. All right, folks, have yourselves a very good evening. I will catch you some other time. Bye-bye.